Hi everyone. I'd like to know, what would you regret not buying or doing if a SHTF event should occur tomorrow? And we're closer than ever to all of these events happening. I mean, it could be World War III, could be an EMP, could be a collapse of the dollar, could be another lockdown, which is probably highly probable, another pandemic. China could shut down exports. We could have supply chain problems and economic collapse. It can be all kinds of things. So what would you regret not buying or doing if you woke up tomorrow and one of these events had occurred? So I'm going to give you some things, but these are all individual things, and it's going to be based on your level of preparedness, what you might regret and what you might not regret. So let's talk about food first. You might regret not having enough food or not storing the right kind of food. So you have to start thinking about that. Will that be one of your big regrets? If you're just starting prepping, you've got to start storing more and more food, as much food as you can. Maybe it's gardening and seeds. Maybe you're going to regret not having enough seeds to grow your own food. And then the seeds you're going to have to be ones that are going to give you subsistence. I know potatoes and sweet potatoes, but they're not grown from seeds. But beans, you have to have beans and maybe winter squash, acorn squash, things like that, things that'll give you substance and calories. Then, suppose you walk over to your faucet and get a drink of water, and you think to yourself, wow, where does my water come from? Well, if you have a well, how are you going to get it if you don't have any electricity? So think about that. You can get one of those, I think it's called a flow jack hand pump, that you drop it's almost like a hose, I think, that you drop down there to the static water level, and you can pump out clean water from your well. Or you can get what they call a well bucket, when you can drop that down, and it has a valve on the other side, on the bottom. So when it hits the water, I guess the valve opens and it allows it to fill up, and then you have to pull it up by hand. So you might say to yourself, it's going to be heavy, especially if my static water level is really low. So maybe you're going to need a pulley system or a winch or something like that. Maybe that would be your regret. So think about what you would regret not having. If you have a municipal water system, what are you going to have to do to get water? Maybe you've never bought that cart that you're going to need to pull your water when you go to get it. Maybe you haven't bought that water filter, and that's going to be a big regret in the morning. You wanted to buy a Berkey, but they're so expensive you put off doing it. Well, you can buy just the filters, the Berkey filters or ones like it, and 5-gallon pails, and make your own water filter a lot cheaper. There's hundreds of videos on YouTube on how to do that. So just go out and make one. Maybe your regret is going to be medicine, not having enough medicine. Oh, my knee hurts so bad today. I wish I had bought some more pain pills. Something like that. Maybe you're going to regret you didn't buy enough vitamin C or vitamin D or Band-Aids or those staples to staple your wounds together, or burn ointment. So think about what you might regret and go out and get it if you can, or put it on your list. Maybe you were always going to buy a wood stove and you just haven't gotten around to it because they're really expensive. That would be a big regret. So try to get it done now. Maybe you need a battery-operated chainsaw. But then if you have the battery-operated chainsaw, you're going to have to recharge it somehow. So you're going to need like a small solar generator or one of those solar power packs. You just have to make sure it will give enough wattage to charge whatever it is you have to charge. Maybe you're not going to be able to get that wood stove, so you always wanted to get one of those Mr. Heaters, those buddy heaters. So don't let that be a regret. Get it. Maybe you need a sleeping bag. Maybe you're going to regret that you didn't get the long underwear. And if you live in a warm climate and you don't really get the cold weather, how are you going to keep cool? Buy some of those battery-operated fans, and then you can plug them in to recharge them in a USB port. Again, you're going to need some kind of solar system to do that, solar generator or battery pack. Just make sure it's compatible with your fan. I would probably get at least 2 fans because they're probably not that expensive. I think they're only about $25, $29. So you'd have one charging while you're using the other one at night. When you sit down for your coffee tomorrow, is your big regret going to be that you don't have coffee? So go out and get some instant coffee. I know, I don't like instant coffee either, but it might be better than nothing. So go out and get your instant coffee. Maybe your regret's going to be you don't have enough toothpaste, so your mouth just tastes terrible, or you don't have enough deodorant. How about insect repellent? How about pest control? Maybe you need arts and crafts for the kids. They're driving you crazy here. Flea and tick powder for your dogs and cats. Maybe you've always wanted that outdoor sun oven, but it's always been very expensive. I always think it's really expensive. I don't know how good they are and if they're worth it, but they really are expensive for what looks like something you can make yourself. You know, you could take cardboard, cover it with aluminum foil, and direct it accordingly. And again, there are YouTube videos on how to make your own sun oven. So look at that. Maybe your big regret will be that you don't have a large solar generator. Start saving up for it. Maybe you need reloading equipment for your ammo. Maybe it's something as simple as a toilet bowl cleaner that you're never going to have enough of and you've always wanted. Or spices. You're so tired of eating rice and beans, you want some spices to put on there. So go out and get those spices. Maybe it's solar lights. You're going to regret not having a few solar lights. Maybe you're going to regret not doing something, not taking that course in foraging, not taking that course in self-defense, not learning how to make fertilizer at home, not learning how to hunt, not learning how to dress a deer, not learning how to do canning. Learn those things. You still have time. We don't know how much time is left, so don't let these things be your regret. Go and learn them now. Maybe you need more fire extinguishers. Maybe you need a fishing pole. Maybe you've put off looking at your evacuation plan and you've never got it down solid. Maybe you're going to regret that you don't have books on medical care. How about updating your bug-out bag? Maybe, since you're really well prepared, you're going to regret that you don't have night vision goggles. It's going to be different for all of us. A bicycle, that might be something you'll regret. One thing I think you might regret if you have kids or grandkids and they're not going to school because of what's happening, a lockdown or whatever, you might regret that you don't have textbooks so that you can homeschool, because you're going to have to homeschool them. So make some kind of a plan to get the materials or the curriculum you need to homeschool. Maybe your regret is going to be you didn't tell someone you love them. Maybe your regret is going to be you didn't tell someone, hey, thanks for all you've done for me. I really appreciate it. Maybe those are going to be your big regrets. So go and do that now. Say, hey, I really do love you. So think about it. When you wake up tomorrow, what will you regret if it's a big SHTF event and there's no way you can get to the store, there's no way you can replenish your supplies, you're stuck with what you have? What will your regret be? Could be a small thing, could be a big thing. So what will you regret not buying or doing? And what I want you to do is put in the comments down below what you might regret not buying or not doing. And also put in the comments if you thought you were going to regret something, so you went out and bought it and you have it now, or you went out and did it and you have it now. Let us know some of these things, because this is just a general outline for you. And there is time. We don't know what's going to happen. It could happen in 3 days. It could happen in 3 weeks. It could happen in 3 months. It could happen in 3 years. Nobody knows. But things are happening now, and things are getting worse. And it's time now to get out there and buy or do whatever it is so you don't regret it tomorrow. And don't regret not subscribing if you haven't subscribed. Thanks again for watching.